welcome back to the ACS Universe. I am, of course, ACS, and, well, The Last Jedi. Here we go. Saw it for the second time. I wanted just to get this video up as early as possible, but I just had too much stuff going on, and I had to catch like a later showing of it. So I just got out of there about an hour and a half ago. Got home, got my stuff prepared, got my trusty notes that I always have for reviews. And spoilers. This is a spoiler review, so if you have not seen the movie yet and you don't want things spoiled for you, cut this video off, throw it in the queue, watch it after you've watched the movie. Second here. All right. This review is gonna be a tad short, probably like my normal reviews, probably about 6 to 8 minutes. Just throw my thoughts out there, let you guys know how I felt about the movie. I loved this movie. The Last Jedi did not disappoint. It wasn't perfect, but I had some knickknacks. And by the way, if you watch my review for it, the way I do it is I start the movie off at a 5, and as things happen in the movie, things take place that I feel are not helping me enjoy the movie or taking away from my enjoyment. That's when I start peeling back small increments of points until you get down to 4.5 or 4. So you'll get my final score on this movie at the end of this review, but I liked the movie. I liked it. I did. And it took a lot of chances, and I liked that. And I've been seeing all this stuff online where, people were mad because The Force Awakens was too similar to A New Hope. But then Rian Johnson comes in here and turns it upside down, and everybody's mad because it's too different. He took too many chances. He made too many changes. Hey, look, I liked it. I like the direction this is going. They left it wide open at the end. They can do whatever they want. But I feel like the next film comes out in 2019, obviously, but I feel like there's going to be a great number of years that pass in between. That way, with Carrie Fisher passing, they can maybe Leia became one with the Force, but there's time enough. They're going to take time enough to do that. So the acting in this movie was spot on. Everybody was great. Even the new character who played Rose. She was great. They all, let's say, they all filled their spaces the way they were supposed to do that. Even the new ones, Benicio del Toro, DJ, that's who he played, and Holdo was played by Laura Dern. They all did great jobs. She actually, if you've seen the movie, hopefully you've seen the movie if you're watching this, you see I thought she was kind of grimy at first, but then it turns around and she makes a huge sacrifice that basically saves the rest of the main characters in the movie. So, but the standout to me was Mark Hamill. This is the best I've ever seen him act in my entire life, and the best Luke Skywalker I've ever seen. Now, I know it's been highly publicized. Mark Hamill came out and said he didn't agree with the direction that Rian Johnson was taking Luke, but I mean, he did it anyway. He kind of had to, but he didn't agree with the direction, but he went along with it. And I can understand why he didn't, because in this movie, he's kind of an asshole at first, but he turns out to do some great shit toward the end. And hey, tell me if I'm crazy, but I feel like Mark Hamill might can pull a little Oscar nomination for Best Actor in a Supporting Role out of this, because I'm telling you, man, he is spot on in this movie. He does his thing. Has a couple of short action scenes. I mean, he is kind of old, but they didn't go as far as like get some young dude to do some acrobatic stuff and then like just CG Hamill's face on there. In this movie, this is one of the drawbacks. It didn't really give us, I want to say, like a payoff from questions or things that happened in The Force Awakens. If you understand what I'm saying, like, I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. A big character died in this movie, and we never got any backstory about him. We thought we was gonna get that. We didn't find out who Rey's parents were. They threw that off. Kylo Ren, like a throw-off answer. That your parents they sold you for drinking money. They were just some scavengers or whatever. And I don't believe that, by the way. I think he was just trying to coerce her into feeling like he was the only thing she had, so she would join him. But several other things, man. What was Luke been doing all this time? I can't think of a lot more right now, but there's a lot of things they didn't give us any payoff from The Force Awakens. And that brings me to my next thing is, I believe Ryan, this is just a thought I had as I watched it for the second time that maybe Ryan Johnson didn't like The Force Awakens that much. And he came in and he said, okay, y'all gonna give me. Now, of course, he wrote the movie too. His screenplay would have had to have been approved by all the higher ups there at Disney and things of that nature. But I think he came in there and said, I don't like these things, so I'm just gonna do away with them. Like, and that's that leads to some of the good stuff I liked about it being different. But that big dramatic, like draw you in scene at the end of The Force Awakens when she's holding the lightsaber up to Luke and it's big and it's emotional and then the music comes in, then we get to this movie, she hands it to him and he just throws it over his shoulder for a joke, basically. I laughed, I chuckled a little bit and I was like, oh, that's funny. But at the same time, like I waited 2 years and that's what I get from that. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. I just felt like it should have been and plus, if you're a Star Wars fan, most likely you watched The Force Awakens right before you went and watched this one. So you have that connection that you just saw this, and this is how it ends up. It kind of makes me if I go back and watch The Force Awakens, which I'm sure I will, that moment won't have the same grip on me, impact that it used to have, just because of the way they to me they just threw it away. Like maybe Ryan Johnson didn't like Kylo Ren's helmet, got rid of that. He a lot of things that they did in The Force Awakens, he undid those things, and it helps progress the story the different direction he's going. But some of the things I really liked about The Force Awakens, and I didn't want to see those things disappear from the next movie. But what can you say? At least he didn't blow up the Millennium Falcon. The movie is funny. Like I said, I'm down with jokes and stuff. I think there's a bit too many jokes. Just like Luke throwing the lightsaber over his shoulder. Like, it was funny, like the impact. But when I saw it the second time, I didn't even laugh. Tad bit too many jokes. Right there at the beginning, when Poe is sitting right there in front of the Dreadnought, and he's like talking to Hux. And he's like, well, I'm still holding that. That wasn't funny to me. Like, I didn't laugh either time I saw the movie. It seemed like they couldn't go too long without throwing a joke in there. And The Force Awakens did that perfectly. This one, I think there was a tad too many. Hopefully the next chapter they kind of own down on the funny stuff. Like, I like to laugh, but I'm trying to think of some more stuff right now that jokes that were unnecessary, at least in my opinion, to the rest of the movie. I'm drawing a blank right now. If you've seen it, and if you even feel remotely how I do about the jokes, then you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. The porgs, little cute little things, they were used well. They didn't overuse them. They had those were some funny things right there. I even still laughed at seeing Chewbacca and then the porg holler right after he does, and I had seen it a million times in the trailer. It still got a laugh out of me. They were used great. As a matter of fact, all the little cute type of animals and stuff that were in this movie, the what did he call them? The diamond critters, or the dogs that looked like they were made out of diamonds or ice or something. They were cool. They were just there, kind of odd, but they didn't take away from the story at all. Even the animals, I can't remember what they're called. They're called father ears. The animals that they were riding, that they were watching like horse racing, but it's those things, and that they rode to escape when they got to that planet. Which brings me to this. To me, that scene, while entertaining, could like easily not been in that movie. I feel like it was okay. We have something for Rey to do in this movie. We have something for Poe Dameron to do in this movie, and Luke and Leia and all these people. We just got to find something for Finn to do in this movie. And the new character, I can't remember her name for anything, but she played Rose great. I like their chemistry. That scene to go for a code breaker, that's another takeaway, is that it just didn't fit well with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it seemed like they could have found something else to do with them in that time. That we need a code breaker to get through. It's understandable conflict they have to resolve, but it just doesn't seem to fit right. It's an entertaining scene, and it just didn't seem to I don't know, man, fit that well. But I mean, they made it work in the end, and Benicio del Toro's character, he he's a douchebag. You see how he took that deal at the end? I was like, man, you dirty motherfucker, man. Excuse my language. I'm trying not to curse that much in my videos, man. But yeah, I was like, you a dirty dude, man. Phasma, man. Phasma, dude, she was only in there for like less than half of the movie, man. And I don't think she's dead, by the way. I think she fell down there. She gonna come back again looking for Finn's ass, and she gonna be all burnt up and like with some type of armor on or something to cover up the burns. But she coming back. Mark my word, I feel like she will be back in the next one. They just can't kill a character off like that. I mean, she came and she was badass. Her and Finn had like a pretty decent little fight right there. And then Finn came up and put one on her, but she was not in the movie enough for me. That's another takeaway, man. Like that's a character, and I haven't read the books. I've heard that Phasma's novel is pretty. Oh, excuse me. It's pretty good. So I haven't read the books, so I don't know about that. But it just feels she had a lot of screen time in The Force Awakens, and it just was chopped in half almost for this movie. So I think she's coming back in the next one, and hopefully if she does, they'll give her some more screen time because I really like her character. Let's see. Now, I said earlier about a big character dying. Dude, when they killed Snoke, the way it happens is cool. He's basically telling him to cut Rey down, kill her, right there, and he's using his other hand to manipulate the lightsaber that's sitting next to him. Cool as I mean, that was a pretty tight scene, man. But they killed Snoke, and I'm like, okay, I really didn't know who Snoke was. That almost makes you not even care about the character at all, because now you got no backstory. You don't know history. No, what are his motivations? Like, why is he in the position he's in? What happened to his head? All of that kind of stuff that I'm sure every Star Wars fan wanted to know. As much fan theories and things that I seen beforehand. I'm thinking, yeah, they're gonna show us what's really up with Snoke, and then they cut him in half. It was a dope killing now, but they cut him in half, and we just don't get that. No payoff. That's another thing I mean. Like no payoff from The Force Awakens. Which brings me to the next, which is I think it's the best scene in the movie. When Kylo Ren and Rey get back to back, and they are fighting Snoke's Red Guard. It is on point. I mean, I knew something like that was because I've seen that little training video that they released where it shows them all like training, lightsaber training, and Gwendolyn Christie show all of them training for their fight scenes in the movie. And I seen I can't remember his name, man. Kylo Ren training. But man, that thing, it went in slow motion for like a second or two, and it stopped, and then they just went at it, dude. That scene, oh man. Rey, she dropped the lightsaber down to the other hand, cut dude's leg, man. Well, she tossed him the lightsaber, and Kylo Ren caught it, and it was like, right there through the dome piece. It was a good scene. I think that's my favorite scene in the movie. That was great. Okay, the planet that they go to, Crate, the one with the salt and it's like red dirt underneath it or whatever, red sand or whatever that is. It was pretty cool. I like that. Rian Johnson did a good job with that. He just created a new planet and said, hey, how about it, the top layer be sand and then right up underneath there's some red stuff. That's cool. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked the way everything played off of it when they would shoot the red burst would pop up and everything. It was a good planet, a good thing that he created to put in there to have that last final battle of it. Which, it was cool also to watch my next topic is the Luke and Kylo Ren when they fight, or I want to say they fight because it's really short. Like there's hardly any blows. There's more Kylo Ren and Luke just blocking stuff. But that move too when he came back and Luke went all the way back and then he spun back around and he was standing up. And I hadn't noticed it until dude I work with, his wife noticed it when they wasn't seeing it. He was telling me about it. The second time I noticed it, like Luke doesn't leave any footprints. It's crazy, man. You go back and think about it because they show their feet, so they make it a point to show their feet so much that you start to notice, and you just and Luke didn't leave any footprints, which is cool to go back and see that, and something I didn't notice the first time. But that little fight, man, it says a lot. I love the line, "If you strike me down in anger, I'll be with you for the rest of your life." Oh, he said, "Just like your father." And that look, at the beginning of that, when I like that. This was a good joke. Kylo Ren says, "I want every gun we have aimed on that man." They fire on him, and then Hux is like, "That's enough. You think you got him?" That was funny. But he comes out, he's like, "Luke, you my homeboy." But sad to see, man. Sad to see. And I think the way he went out, because at first I thought he was going to do what Obi-Wan Kenobi did in A New Hope. Just let him strike him down and he just disappeared. He didn't. But when I saw him still on that island, man, and I think it just took so much of him. And if you remember earlier in the film, the first time Kylo and Rey are having that connection, he said, "I know you're not doing this. You're not, it would take too much." So something along the lines of it would take too much strength that you don't have to be able to make the connection yourself. So he went out, man. I like the way they showed the two sons, like fucking New Hope, man. And I was like, oh man. And I could tell the way the music was going, I could tell that he was gonna be gone, man. And then Rey started looking at Leia, and I was like, oh man. But that was a fitting ending for him. I wish it wouldn't have happened. I'm sure we'll see him in the next one in some way, shape, or form. But hey, peace out, Luke. You went out like a G, man. Now the Leia using the Force scene. Okay, for me, I had no problem with it. This is the last time you're ever gonna see Leia on the screen, because Carrie Fisher, God rest her soul, she passed away. So it was good for me to be able to see her use the Force at least one time, because you knew she had it in her. You knew she had that connection, that mental connection with Luke and stuff. And and like with Han, when he passed on The Force Awakens, she sat there, she felt it. Like, it was cool to see her use the Force. Now, it was me writing the movie, and I was saying to myself, okay, I want to show at least one time, show the fans Leia using the Force. I wouldn't have done it like that. But the fact that I got to see her use the Force and know that she at least had some of that in her was awesome. It was great. I think the CG was a little funny on it, but to me, it still looked cool. It was a cool moment, and like they said, they weren't going to kill her off in the movies or CG her in the third one. So I thought that was a cool thing to see her do that you've never seen her do before in any of the other movies. Yoda, man, when Yoda showed up, dog, I was like, oh snap! That part right there was sweet, and it was like my homie James reminded me, it's that old school Yoda from from the Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and not the CG looking funny one from like episode 2 and 3, because they still use a puppet in the Phantom Menace, but this one looked really, really much like the Empire Strikes Back Yoda. That was a cool moment to have show up. The way they ended this movie, like I said earlier, open-ended. They can do whatever they want with it, and that's great, because now they haven't tied themselves down with anything. Man, trying to think of anything else, man. The movie was great. Like I said, it wasn't perfect though. I like the fact things. If you are a Star Wars fan and you play video games and you haven't played the campaign for Battlefront 2, it is one of the best campaigns I've ever played in my life, especially the way it ties into these movies. There are things that are in this movie that you would not know what it means unless you played the game. And I like that little shout out they gave to the people who actually forked out the money to buy the game to play it. There's a compass that you see on Luke's little whatever nightstand, whatever that is in his little hut, that he picks up in the game. The Dreadnought, that's in the game too, the plans. That's how they knew exactly where to hit the Dreadnought with the bombs, was because of the plans that were stolen during the game and handed over to Leia. This shouts out, man. Look, so if you haven't played that game yet, you need to go play it. Sorry about that there. Well, it's going to be an instantaneous blip for you guys watching this. The little timer was running out anyway. Okay, so I'm just going to end this thing right quick because it went longer than I expected it to. So for me, my score on Star Wars The Last Jedi It's 4.5 comic book covers out of 5. I thought it was a really good entry in the series. I know I'm gonna watch it a million times, like I watch all the rest of the Star Wars films. It just had some things, man, some things I couldn't get over myself. But I mean, it's damn near perfect. 4.5 out of 5 is pretty close to perfect. If you like this review, if this was helpful to you, like, subscribe, share it, post in the comments what you think. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at 2279ACS. Until next time, ACS Universe out, and may the force be with you.